A main reason environmental progress is not being achieved in the urgent manner scientists say is necessary is because of the lack of White House leadership. In November 2010, United Nations Environmental Program Director said, "We are not achieving environmentally because there is a gap between the science and current ambition levels, which defines the White House 100%. Those environmentally directing Barack lack enough knowledge and analysis to close this gap, and worse, they are adamant they will not allow others who can fill this gap to lead the world, which is why every global report continues to state no improvement is in sight, and things are running away unabated." Every global environmental report states achievement is desperately needed now, yet every White House goal is years or decades past the end of this administration because Barack's environmental directors will not allow light years better achievement while Barack is in office. First, environment needs to be its own heading, not today's afterthought, proven with the title Energy and the Environment, whose agenda is solely energy, which is way more of a national security issue. Also not allowed is ending environmental illiteracy, which will end our disposable society, which will immediately reduce oil demand in real time, meaning while Barack is in office. Although Barack says the government doesn't have all the answers and needs individuals' bright ideas, Barack's environmental staff will not allow it. Global environmental illiteracy is our biggest environmental problem today, which could have virtually ended in the 2 years Barack has occupied the White House, but those environmentally directing this education president will not allow it. This could already have an environmentally literate society acting responsibly in their daily lives, which would give us our best chance of achieving progress in the 911 manner scientists say is necessary. For a president who continues to stress education is the key to success, this is an agenda Barack would embark on if only his staff would tell him about it. Barack's administration talks about needing to reduce our oil demand, but our oil demand continues to grow. However, in Barack's 2 years in the White House, we already could have significantly reduced our oil demand by ending our use of disposable plastic. This would be a real environmental agenda, which the White House doesn't have, and worse, won't allow, because ending our disposable society is essential to reducing oil demand, greenhouse gas emissions, and providing us a sustainable future. In 1944, Roosevelt was the first president to fly in his own aircraft. In 1962, Kennedy upgraded it to a jet. That was well before environmental talk or problems, but in the 50 years since then, presidential jet use has increased, and the number of flights it takes, to its sophistication, to flying decoy planes, to all White House staff has a plane at their disposal, to now, we have a first couple who jet sets out for a night on the town in another town. Like everything else we've expanded on since the early 1960s, this is our environmental problems. Problems that will never be solved if we continue expanding on everything we do that is wrong instead of reversing it. In September 2010, the Secretary of Energy, Stephen Chu, spoke saying he invests in programs that fizzle out to nothing. He needs a home run, preferably a grand slam. In the question and answer session, Stephen watched as I was escorted out, so the United States of North Korea audience didn't learn. Every day I send the White House the grand slam Stephen will not allow. I was treated like a North Korean citizen, held against my will by Max Baucus's top guy, a uniformed policeman, and I'm sure Stephen's top man, even though when I asked, "And you are?" he said a local man, but he was in charge. Calls to Stephen's office get you to security, who tells you presenting achievement to Stephen's office is considered harassment. So the grand slam the world needs isn't being hit because apparently Stephen Chu is absolutely, adamantly opposed to it. So Stephen flew his White House jet to Montana and back emitting huge amounts of greenhouse gases, working against the cause in many ways. The world needs real, by example, White House environmental leadership. A man who environmentally directs Barack was on Letterman, and when Letterman said, "It's our cars," this man added in, "It's our planes too." But this man allows the first couple to jet set out for a night on the town in another town. He or anyone else has never grounded White House jet use and told the world they need to follow our lead by going to meeting without going to meeting. There are endless things the White House needs to do right now, but don't, because those environmentally directing Barack are absolutely, adamantly opposed to desperately needed environmental achievement.